We're more than just what you see on the outside.
Guests get to see how the keepers work behind the scenes.
What it takes to run the world's largest aquarium.
The whole thing lasts just 20 minutes, depending on how curious the visitors are.
People should see these things because this is where all the magic actually happens.
The back of house is where the keepers work, and guests get to hold animals that normally people don't like reptiles. If for reptile tour, they get to hold a bearded dragon or a snake.
So snakes, they actually taste the air, like this, that's what he's doing.
For the fragile forest tour, they get to hold different kinds of creepy crawlies, insects like Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and they even get to see tarantulas and scorpions.
This is my giant prickly stick insect. This is an insect that employs both mimicry and camouflage. Okay, so first it pretends to be a scorpion. This is what it does. Camouflage is it pretends like a dead leaf.
Guests actually see how the keepers work. They think keepers is all fun and they feed the animals, but they see how the keepers clean the cages and feed the animals. These are little things back of house where if you go as a general public, you will not get to see.
To a lot of people, beer is a black box. People don't actually know what these ingredients are and how they're used and what goes into making beer. And I think as with any product, as you know more, you get to relate better to it, you understand the nuances of flavor, and you basically learn to appreciate it in a different sense. And for us to try and build a community around craft beer, I think it's very important for people to know more than what goes on just the label. The tour usually begins with educating people about the different raw materials used in beer, and they get to actually feel and taste the different kinds of malts, also smell the different varieties of hops. So this one's called caramel malt, the one on the right. This one's a roasted malt, it's black malt. So this one's more used in porters and stouts. This one goes in English ales. Then we go through the brewing process in brief as we walk along the brewery. And at the end of it, visitors get to try beer as it becomes beer as well.
Okay, for the backstage tour, we're going to bring patrons to places that usually the public will not be able to see. Places like the back of house area for the theatre, and then of course for the concert hall as well, we get to see various stuff like how the doors works and stuff like that. Basically things that you will not see on an average day when you're at Esplanade. The main highlight would be the part where we actually get to go on the theatre stage, because from the theatre stage itself we see a very different perspective. What you see before you, right, is the theatre at its most raw stage. Now this stage, right, is actually very, very flexible. You can do anything you want here. So you can do dance performances, you can do musicals, you can do operas, even ice skating. This first 5 rows, right, are actually removable seats where you can remove them and create the orchestra pit right in front here. The theatre understage. So basically we're right below the stage of the theatre right now. These are actually seats, so whenever we need to extend the stage, they can actually be brought down to basement, pulled out, and then this platform goes upwards. So the stage gets extended forward. Then they're actually all powered by all these hydraulics at the bottom. So you see at the bottom, right, there's nothing on. This is actually right below the theatre. In the theatre side, right, we see the rooms like your wardrobe room, and then you see your wig and makeup room. One of the highlights or the things that we see in a concert hall would be where the choir gallery is, because again the choir gallery is not usually open to public, it's only for performances or for staff like us. So from the choir gallery you get to see the auditorium from a different point of view, and it's a very interesting place to be. There's a lot of things that go on at the backstage. These things deserve recognition. Basically it's really things that you don't see on a regular basis when you go on like a front of house tour.
Part of the day, they'll get to experience what it's like to be a junior aquarist. So aquarists are the ones that actually take care of fish right here in Southeast Asia Aquarium. So they go to 3 different stations. So number 1, they'll go and see the manta ray. So we meet the friendly giants, like how they feed, see how the aquarists work. They call it a station feeding. They'll get a pail, and then after that they'll tap the water to get the manta ray attention. And then you get their food. And then over there, because the 3 mantas, right, they have designated station to feed. So if they go to the wrong one, right, they won't be fed. So this will make sure that each and every one will get their food. After that, we'll learn more about the life support system. When you go and see back of house and what it takes to run the world's largest aquarium, you get to see the whole process on how water get into marine life park and how it get cleaned and after distributed to all the fish homes. And after that, number 3, we'll go to the food prep. We'll see some aquarists in action, doing their food, cutting food, and also play some games and learn about the different diets of the different marine animals. Over here, right, is the chiller. They actually cut and then sort the food for different exhibits.